What is up, roller coaster gamers? Welcome to my last video of 2019. This is kind of a review of this year. So, I started my YouTube channel this year back in February and haven't done too much with the channel, but the overall year, I think, has been great. One of the best years for many reasons. Okay, I'm gonna kind of go through in order from the beginning to the end. This year felt like it went by super fast, like the fastest year ever. Each year feels like it goes by faster and faster, but 2018, 2019 have gone by like phew, really fast. So I'm gonna kind of go over this year, some of the main highlights. So at the beginning of this year, um, it's just not a lot goes on in like January and February and stuff. But in February, that was the month I was really. I know I was late on this, and this is when I started my YouTube channel. I'd been playing Ultimate Custom Night, which is a Five Nights at Freddy's game, since it came out in the previous year, but I could not bring myself to try to get like above 5,000 points. I kept doing that over and over again. I kept trying to get 5,000 points, which is not actually that hard. That's pretty easy, but I couldn't push myself to go higher than that. So, like at the beginning of that year, I started like trying to increase my score by adding like one character at a time, and eventually I got to 50-20 mode, and which was very, very frustrating. But then I did it. I didn't have any power ups on, because I didn't want to waste them, because it takes forever to farm for them. I didn't want to waste power ups and stuff, so I just didn't use them. So I did it. It was worth it. It was a crazy hard, one of the hardest things I've ever done on a game. And I have so many recordings of me just failing, but I have yet to post them because there's some cussing in it, and I don't want to post me just cussing at a game. So, yeah, demonetization is a thing. And then, did some other cool stuff, like cringy music stuff. Like, I had this, recording on GarageBand of me with an actual keyboard in my basement, an old keyboard in my basement, and I was playing the Grandfather Clock, or the Marionettes music box like tune, and for some reason ended up recording it really weird, and I don't know how, but it must have been because of where I placed it on the keyboard. I placed it right on the speaker, and for some reason the keyboard was sounding a bit different. But when I played the recording, it sounded completely messed up. And if you go and watch it, look up, I named it the Nightmare Music Box because it's perfect. It's like, instead of just the normal music box, it's like the nightmare version, because that's what it sounds like. It's very messed up. I don't know how it ended up that way, but that was cool. So then with some games that came out, like um, I think the beginning of this year, or it was either the end of 2018 or the beginning of this year. I think it was towards the end of 2018. But Amnesia Hard Mode, Amnesia: The Dark Descent, which is a horror game, one of my favorite horror games ever. Um, Came out with the hard mode. I think it was in 2018. But you also have games like Super Smash Bros., which came out at the very end of 2018, but it's a cool game. This year, Recently Luigi's Mansion came out, which is a very big Nintendo game, and Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted VR. I couldn't play it at the beginning of the year because I didn't have not at the beginning of the year, but when it came out in like towards the end of May or something like that. And I didn't have a VR headset at the time. I have one for the PlayStation now, and I can't do it on this computer because this computer can't handle the game. I tried it, and like the non-VR version when it came out, when they got the non-VR version recently, but it just like I tried recording it and it just it just crashed, and like I couldn't play, and it was laggy and stuff. And then we got it on the PlayStation and got a VR headset that's for Christmas. PlayStation have been playing it on it, but I don't really see a good way of recording out there. So yeah. Other highlights. I'm gonna get to the biggest highlight of the year, which there's one specific moment this year that is bigger than any other time this year. It was the thing it was the thing I was looking forward to for many years because I had been planning it for that long. We'll get to that in a minute. One of the pictures shows it, but we also went to Carowinds twice. Yeah, as you know, I'm a coaster enthusiast. I love roller coasters, so we went to Carowinds twice this year, which is on the border of North and South Carolina. Fear 325 is amazing, one of the best roller coasters I've ever ridden. Also went to the beach down in Florida in June, which is cool, and yeah. I'm trying to think of some other cool things that have happened. Yeah, those are some of the major highlights, I think. The game. This is probably stupid, but I don't know. The game. Baldi's Basics. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. They're making they came out with the demo for the full game this year, which is another Rage game, like Ultimate Custom Night, and Baldi's Basics are like the two biggest Rage games I've ever played. Also, Getting Over It, but I don't feel like recording that because I'm too far ahead and I don't want to I'm stuck at the bucket and that whole area, and I just can't get past it without falling. But yeah, if you've seen or played Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, that is a Rage game. And yeah, now what I'd have to say is the biggest highlight of this year, the number one highlight of this year, is going to Cedar Point for my 16th birthday. Cedar Point is the best amusement park I've ever been to. I've been planning it for like 3 years, and finally I've gone, and it was amazing. I was really looking forward to it, but it exceeded expectations. My stepdad, who doesn't really care much about roller coasters and who will take me to amusement parks sometimes, but usually just amusement parks in the near area, like closer to us, like Six Flags or something. But since it was my birthday and an important birthday, he said, you know what, I'll fly us to Cedar Point. We flew to Cleveland, drove about like a little less than an hour to Sandusky, went to Cedar Point for 3 days, and he thought it was an awesome park. And he doesn't really care as much for amusement parks as I do. And he thought it was a great amusement park. The roller coasters are amazing, and I like how it's kind of a mixture between a theme park and an amusement park. Like, you have most of the park, which is just like a normal amusement park. Like, the whole front section is just a normal amusement park. You have rides, and it feels like you're at a classic amusement park when you're at the front. But then you get to the back section of the park where you have the whole, like, the frontier town and everything. And that whole area is pretty well themed, in my opinion. I think it's similar to Dollywood. Maybe not quite as good as Dollywood, but it's still pretty good. Of course, my favorite roller coaster here is Steel Vengeance. That thing is a beast. Millennium Force is great. Top Thrill Dragster is great. I only rode Top Thrill Dragster once, but it was still... No, getting on that was like, you had to have nerves. Just kidding. This park was just great. And it's on the water and everything. So, tell me, guys, what has been your highlight of this year? The new year's coming. The new year is coming. And you only have so much time to reflect on this year before it's over. This sounds very much like freaking Unisonus or something. I have to go, guys. Have a happy new year. Bye.